Venturi taught architects that buildings should communicate, that architecture should be understood by ordinary people. And honestly, he was right. More than 50 years ago, he challenged modernism and argued that architecture should connect with how people actually experience the world. Looking around today, that idea still matters. Buildings communicate everywhere. They are bigger, louder, more iconic, more expressive. And yet, many cities still feel exhausting to live in. Why? Why do so many places look impressive but feel disconnected from everyday life? And that raises a new question. What if communication is no longer enough? Because today, architecture communicates constantly. Every project wants to become an icon, a statement, a landmark, a social media image, and cities are becoming filled with objects. But not necessarily better experiences. You can build a futuristic tower that still feels uncomfortable. You can build an iconic development that nobody enjoys walking through. You can create beautiful renderings while everyday life remains difficult. And maybe that is the strange irony. Architecture learned how to communicate, but slowly it may have forgotten how to care for human experience. Because maybe the future of architecture is no longer only about symbolism. Maybe the real challenge today is performance, not what does the building say, but how does the building work? How does it reduce friction? How does it respond to climate? How does it improve movement? How does it support daily life? How does it create comfort? Because people do not live inside concepts, they live inside systems. And this becomes even more important in the age of AI. Because images are no longer difficult to create, we know that anyone can generate futuristic forms, anyone can create visual spectacle. But understanding how people move, how cities function, how climate affects behavior, and how communities connect, how life actually feels inside a place, that is much harder. Because the future architect may not be the person who creates the strangest form, but rather the person who understands human life most deeply. Because good development is not only about buildings, it is about how people live together. It is about creating places where everything makes sense, where movement feels natural, where technology supports people quietly, where climate is respected, where everyday life becomes easier. And maybe that is where architecture is beginning to change again. Because every generation of architecture responds to the problems of its time. Modernism taught us purity, Venturi taught us communication. But perhaps the next evolution of architecture must become something else entirely. Not architecture as image, not architecture as symbol, but architecture as intelligent human experience. Because ultimately people do not remember cities for their diagrams. They remember them for how life felt inside them, the streets they enjoyed walking, the comfort they experienced. The places they felt connected, the spaces that quietly made life easier, and maybe that is what architecture was always supposed to do.